humanity was silent for a long time. The galaxy was full of proud alien empires who ruled countless stars. They thought they knew every danger, every rival, every possible threat. To them, Earth was only a small blue world circling a common star. Weak, emotional, and short-lived, humans were not counted as anything important. For centuries, the great councils of aliens laughed whenever someone mentioned the rise of mankind. They believed humans would never reach the stars in time to matter. But they were wrong. On a quiet night, far from Earth, a signal moved across the stars. It was not an accident. It was not a random noise. It was a human transmission, sharp and deliberate, reaching deeper into space than before. When alien sensors captured the signal, the galaxy began to whisper. Who gave humans permission to expand? Who allowed this small species to send their voice so far? At first, the leaders of the great empires laughed. They believed it was nothing more than arrogance. A few fleets would be enough to put humanity back in place. But in the Grand Council, one alien stood in silence. He was older than most, his skin marked with scars from past wars. His eyes narrowed as the human signal repeated again and again. He warned the others that humans should not be underestimated. He spoke of their history, their endless wars, their strange ability to adapt faster than logic allowed. He reminded them that weakness in appearance did not mean weakness in truth. Yet his words were ignored. The council laughed louder. To them, challenging humans would be nothing more than crushing insects underfoot. Soon the order was given. A fleet of warships was sent to the Sol system, armed with weapons that had destroyed countless enemies before. Their commander was proud and overconfident. He imagined a quick victory. He dreamed of returning home with trophies from Earth, perhaps even the planet itself enslaved. The fleet moved fast, cutting through the void, shining with deadly power. When they reached the edge of the solar system, they expected fear and surrender. They expected silence. Instead, they saw movement. Near the orbit of Neptune, strange signals began to appear. The aliens thought it was static at first, but then they realized it was code. It was human code. The commander ordered scans, expecting to find nothing more than weak ships or satellites. But the readings showed something else. There were structures hidden in the dark, platforms built among the ice, machines that did not match any known design. And then, the silence ended. A human voice came through the channel, calm and steady. "This is Earth. You are not welcome here." The alien commander laughed, believing it was a desperate bluff. He ordered his fleet forward. Ships moved into the solar system like wolves entering a small den. Yet something was wrong. Their sensors kept losing track of human vessels. One moment there was nothing, the next moment a shadow appeared. Human ships rose from behind moons and asteroids, their hulls dark, their weapons silent. They had been waiting. The first clash was sudden. Alien ships fired bright energy beams, but humans did not fight like the others. Their ships moved with sharp angles, striking and vanishing. They fired weapons that bent physics in strange ways, piercing shields that were supposed to be unbreakable. The aliens were shocked. They expected humans to fight with fear, but instead the humans fought with patience, as if every move had been planned long before the first shot was fired. In the middle of the battle, the alien commander shouted across the channel. He offered mercy if humans surrendered now. But the human reply was quiet and cold. "We do not bow." Those words spread across the fleet like fire. One by one, alien ships fell into chaos. Their shields cracked. Their lines broke. The more they tried to crush the humans, the more they realized the truth. Humanity was not weak. Humanity was not prey. Humanity was waiting. At last, the alien fleet pulled back, limping away from the Sol system with heavy losses. Their commander had no trophies, no victory, only shame. Behind him, Earth stood unbroken. The humans did not cheer. They did not boast. They simply watched the enemy leave, silent and calculating. And as the stars burned over the blue planet, one fact became clear to the galaxy. Humanity was ready. The alien fleet had returned in shame, but the galaxy did not forget. Across empires and councils, leaders argued day and night. How could a young species like humans resist so strongly? Some said the first fleet was careless, others said it was only luck. But the older voices whispered that the council had made a mistake. Humanity was not to be treated like prey. Yet pride is heavy, and empires do not bend so easily. The defeat was small compared to their power, and they were certain they could still control Earth. So, another fleet was prepared. Stronger, larger, and commanded by a veteran who promised he would burn the human spirit into ashes. He studied reports of the first battle, he memorized the mistakes, and he believed he could not fail. When the second fleet arrived near the Sol system, they expected humans to be hiding. They expected fear and retreat. Instead, the humans spoke again. Their voice came across every channel, calm and direct. You entered our home once. You will not do it again. The alien commander sneered. He ordered the humans to surrender and accept chains. He promised them survival if they bowed before the Empire. The humans answered with only 3 words. We do not bow. And the battle began. This time, the alien fleet moved with precision. Their formations were tight, their weapons ready, their shields burning bright. They fired in waves, covering the space around them with deadly energy. Human ships appeared in their path, smaller and weaker by design, but they did not fight in the way the enemy expected. Humans scattered, split, and vanished into the black of space. Their movements were not random. They were traps. Alien ships followed, only to find themselves lured into crossfire. Every time they believed victory was close, a hidden human ship emerged from the shadows. Rockets struck their engines, railguns pierced their armor, and the dark of space echoed with explosions. For the first time in centuries, the proud alien empire felt something they had forgotten. Fear. But humans did not fight only with ships. They fought with will. Pilots sacrificed themselves to protect their fleet. Captains sent their ships into impossible maneuvers that broke the laws of probability. Every time an alien ship thought it had caught a human vessel, the humans turned disaster into victory. Their tactics were not written in any book. They were born from desperation, from creativity, from the strange human ability to fight hardest when defeat was certain. The alien commander roared in frustration. He had destroyed enemies before, stronger than this, but never like this. These humans did not accept their place. They refused to surrender. Worse, they adapted. Every strike he used against them was studied, copied, and countered faster than logic allowed. Hours passed, and the battlefield burned. Alien wrecks drifted among human ships, their flames shining like falling stars. The commander realized his fleet was bleeding too quickly. If he continued, he might lose everything. He ordered a retreat, but before his ships could escape, a final message came from Earth. You wanted us weak. You wanted us silent. But now, you have taught us war. Remember this day. The words struck deeper than any weapon. The alien commander escaped with part of his fleet, but he carried the weight of failure. The humans had not only survived again, they had proven they were hunters hiding in plain sight. When the news spread, the galaxy was shaken. Species who once mocked humanity now whispered in private. Could it be true that humans, small and fragile, were becoming something more dangerous than any empire had imagined? In dark halls and secret meetings, rulers argued. Some demanded peace before it was too late. Others demanded the complete destruction of Earth. But one truth became clear to all: every battle with humans made them stronger. Every attempt to break them only sharpened their claws. The galaxy had challenged humanity a second time, and once again, the humans did not bow. And far beyond Earth, hidden colonies at Mars and Jupiter prepared in silence. Ships that the galaxy had never seen before were being built, armed, and tested. The humans had shown only a fraction of their strength. What waited beyond the solar system was still unknown. The galaxy thought it was hunting mankind, but in truth, the trap was closing. The second alien defeat shook the galaxy like thunder. For ages, the great empires had ruled without challenge. They crushed rebellions, silenced rivals, and spread fear across the stars. But now, whispers filled every council hall. Humans, the small and ignored species from a blue world, had stood against 2 mighty fleets. And they had not only survived, they had forced the enemy to retreat. Fear began to spread faster than any fleet. On distant worlds, traders spoke of human ships appearing from nowhere, striking with deadly precision, and vanishing back into the void. Alien rulers tried to control the stories, But the truth was stronger than lies. Humanity had shown the galaxy something it had not seen in centuries: resistance. Inside the alien council chamber, voices clashed like blades. One side demanded more war. They said humanity must be destroyed before it could grow stronger. Another side argued for peace. They said humans were dangerous, but they also offered something rare: the chance for an alliance with a force that refused to break. The council could not agree, but the fear in their voices was clear. While the aliens argued, humans prepared. On Mars, massive shipyards glowed with fire, building vessels faster than ever before. On Jupiter's moons, hidden bases trained soldiers, engineers, and pilots. The humans did not celebrate their victories. They did not sing songs of glory. They remembered their history. Every war on Earth had been filled with blood and sacrifice, and they knew the galaxy's challenge was only beginning. And then, humanity sent a message. It was not to one empire, but to all. The words echoed across the stars, broadcast in every known language. We asked for peace. You brought us war. You wanted our silence. Now you will hear our voice. From this day forward, humanity stands. Remember what you have done, for we will not forget. The message shocked the galaxy. Some species cheered in secret, hoping that humans might free them from their alien overlords. Others trembled, knowing that such words meant a larger war was coming. For the empires, the message was nothing less than a challenge. In response, fleets gathered once again. But this time, something was different. The empires began to fear each other as much as humanity. What if one empire tried to use humans as an ally? What if peace with Earth gave another power an advantage? The galaxy was no longer united against humanity. Distrust began to grow, and cracks appeared in the once strong alliances. Back on Earth, the people were divided as well. Some feared the endless war, worried that humanity would be destroyed if the aliens united. But most understood the truth: there was no going back. Humanity could not hide. Humanity could not surrender. The only path was forward. The first step of that path was revealed when human fleets expanded beyond the Sol system. For the first time, human warships crossed into alien space. They did not arrive with destruction. Instead, they captured. A small alien outpost on the edge of the stars fell into their hands. Instead of burning it, the humans studied its machines, its weapons, its engines. Within weeks, they had learned to copy and improve them. This was the secret of humanity. They did not only fight. They learned. They adapted. Every alien weapon turned into a tool for human survival. Every defeat became a lesson. Every small victory became the foundation for something greater. The galaxy watched in silence as the humans spread. Their fleets grew faster than logic allowed. Their technology advanced in leaps. Their soldiers fought with discipline that shocked even the oldest veterans. It was no longer just survival. It was momentum. Humanity had become a storm, and the storm was spreading. Still, the galaxy refused to believe the truth. In their pride, they told themselves that humanity could be stopped. They told themselves that one more great fleet would end the danger forever. They convinced themselves that humans could not rise so quickly, that no species could move so far, so fast. But deep inside, where rulers did not speak and warriors did not admit, the fear was already alive. The galaxy had made a mistake. They had awakened a predator that was never meant to sleep. And as the stars turned, the humans prepared for their next step. The colonies at Mars and Jupiter were only the beginning. Factories hidden in the asteroid belt were alive with fire. Distant probes reached farther each day. And in the shadows of Saturn's rings, something greater was being built, something the galaxy had not yet seen. The aliens wanted to believe they still held the power. But soon, they would learn the truth. The galaxy had challenged humanity, and the humans were only getting started. The galaxy had underestimated humanity twice. The first fleet was broken. The second fleet was forced to retreat. Now, humans were no longer seen as weak prey. They were seen as a rising danger. Across alien empires, leaders grew restless. Their pride could not accept defeat. They had ruled for centuries, perhaps millennia, but now their authority was shaken by a species that had only just begun to reach the stars. Councils gathered. Plans were made. Some rulers demanded total destruction of Earth before humanity could expand further. Others feared what such a war would cost. They whispered that the humans should be offered peace, but their voices were drowned out by anger. Pride is louder than wisdom, and the galaxy chose war once more. But while the galaxy argued, humanity acted. The colonies of Mars and Jupiter became armed fortresses. Shipyards worked day and night, building warships faster than any empire believed possible. On the moons of Saturn, hidden bases trained new fleets in secret. Humanity did not rest. They knew the galaxy would come again, and they would not wait for the next blow. Then came the moment the galaxy never expected. Humanity struck first. A human fleet left the Sol system quietly, its movements masked by clever signals and decoys. The aliens thought the humans would defend their home only, but instead, the fleet appeared at the edge of an alien world. It was a mining colony, rich with metals that fed the Empire's war machine. The aliens expected such a colony to be untouchable, guarded by advanced weapons. But the humans did not attack blindly. They attacked with precision. In a matter of hours, the colony's defenses fell. Human marines landed and secured the outpost. But instead of destroying it, they did something far more dangerous. They captured it intact. The machines, the weapons, the ships, all of it was taken and studied. What took alien species centuries to build, humans learned in months. Every piece of technology became fuel for human growth. The news spread like fire. The galaxy was stunned. No one had expected humans to move so quickly beyond their system. The empires realized too late that every attempt to crush humanity had only forced them to evolve faster. On Earth, scientists worked side by side with soldiers. Alien technology was broken apart and rebuilt. Engines were improved. Weapons were upgraded. Shields that once belonged only to alien fleets now protected human ships. Humanity was not just surviving the war. They were turning the galaxy's strength into their own. Alien commanders began to fear what they once mocked. Every report told the same story: humans did not fight like prey. They fought like predators. They studied every weakness, exploited every blind spot, and learned faster than any empire in history. But the humans were not reckless. They did not rush to destroy everything. They chose their targets carefully. Outposts on the edges of alien space fell one by one. Each captured base gave humanity more resources, more knowledge, and more momentum. The galaxy began to feel a cold truth: humanity was spreading like a shadow, and nothing could stop them. Yet the empires still clung to their pride. They told themselves that the humans were still small compared to the great alliances. They said that the storm could be contained, that the humans would eventually break under the weight of the galaxy. But deep inside, they knew the truth was different. Every battle lost made humanity stronger. Every weapon used against them became their own. The fear grew. Soldiers whispered stories of human fleets appearing from nowhere. Traders claimed entire outposts had fallen without warning. Even rulers began to wonder if the war they had started was now beyond their control. In the silence of space, the humans prepared for their next strike. No longer trapped in their home system, they were free to choose the battlefield. And as their fleets gathered near the dark edge of alien space, one message was sent again. We asked for peace. You gave us war. Now we bring the war to you. The words carried across the stars, cold and sharp. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy trembled. They had unleashed something they could no longer contain. Humanity had stepped beyond survival. Now, they were on the attack. And in the shadows of captured alien outposts, human engineers worked on something greater, something the galaxy had not yet seen. A weapon of unity, a weapon born from Earth's will and alien knowledge combined. The empires could not see it yet, but the storm was building, and it was already too late to stop it. The galaxy had reached its breaking point. For years, they mocked humanity. For years, they believed Earth was nothing but a fragile world with no future. But now, the story had changed. Humanity was no longer defending their home. They were striking deep into alien space, capturing colonies, turning enemy weapons into their own, and spreading like fire across the stars. The great alien empires could not ignore it anymore. One defeat could be explained as bad luck. 2 defeats could be explained as poor leadership. But now, the galaxy knew this was something else. Humanity was rising, and nothing could stop them. So, for the first time in centuries, the galaxy's rulers gathered together. The Great Alien Alliance was formed, an army of empires who had once hated each other. Old enemies shook hands with disgust, united only by one shared goal: destroy humanity before it was too late. The largest fleet in history was built. Thousands of warships armed with the deadliest weapons ever seen. Massive carriers, dreadnoughts, and cruisers filled the void. Entire worlds were emptied of resources to feed this war machine. The galaxy had never united with such force, and all of it was pointed at one small world called Earth. The humans saw the fleet coming. Scouts and probes brought reports of the endless wave of ships. On Earth, the people knew the truth: this would be the greatest battle in their history. If they lost here, humanity would be wiped out forever. If they won, the galaxy would never challenge them again. The battlefield was chosen near a dying star on the edge of alien space. The Alliance believed it was the perfect trap. The star was unstable, its gravity pulling like a beast, but the empires thought they could use their numbers to crush the humans. They expected a desperate defense, a final stand. But they were wrong. Humanity was ready. When the Great Fleet arrived, human ships were waiting. They were fewer in number, smaller in size, but they carried a fire the galaxy had never seen before. The battle began with thunder. Alien ships surged forward, their weapons flooding the void with fire. Human ships scattered and fought back with precision. The sky burned with explosions as the two sides clashed. The Alliance commander believed victory was close. His fleet was too large, too powerful. But then he noticed something strange. The humans were not retreating at random. They were moving in a pattern, a dance around the dying star. Piece by piece, the trap was revealed. Humanity had studied the star's unstable gravity for years. They had mapped every surge, every flare, every burst of deadly energy. And now, they used it as a weapon. Alien ships, chasing humans too far, were pulled into the star's grip. Their shields cracked, their engines failed, and one by one, massive vessels were dragged into the burning core. The Alliance panicked. They tried to regroup, but the humans had already closed the net. Every move the aliens made was predicted, every formation broken, every ship forced into danger. The battle lasted for hours. Thousands of ships were lost. The void was filled with wreckage. Human ships burned as well, but they did not stop. Their captains fought until the last breath. Their soldiers sacrificed themselves to hold the line. For every human ship destroyed, 2 alien ships followed it into fire. At the height of the battle, the dying star erupted. A massive flare tore across the field, blinding sensors and ripping apart shields. But the humans had prepared for this moment. Their ships, hardened with captured alien technology, survived where others did not. The Alliance fleet shattered under the force, torn apart by the very star they had chosen for victory. When the light faded, silence filled the void. The galaxy's greatest fleet was gone. Only human banners remained, floating proud among the wreckage. The survivors of the Alliance fled in terror. Their commanders had promised an easy victory, but instead they had found destruction. Entire empires now stood exposed, their fleets broken, their strength drained. And the humans had proven the truth the galaxy never wanted to believe. Earth had stood against them all. Earth had turned the galaxy's pride into dust. The news spread faster than any ship. Across alien worlds, rulers trembled. Soldiers whispered in fear. Traders spoke of human fleets that used stars themselves as weapons. The Great Alien Alliance had failed. Humanity had won. But the humans did not celebrate. On Earth and in the colonies, they mourned the dead. They rebuilt their ships. They studied the wreckage of the fallen fleet. And in silence, they prepared for what came next. Because humanity knew the war was not yet over. The empires would return, perhaps not together, but in desperation. And when they did, humanity would be ready. The Great Alien Alliance was broken. Their fleets had been torn apart near the dying star. Their commanders were dead or disgraced. The galaxy had united with all its strength, yet it was not enough. Humanity had stood against them all, and humanity had won. Across alien worlds, silence filled the councils. Leaders who once spoke with pride now spoke with fear. Soldiers who once laughed at Earth now avoided even saying the name. Traders whispered stories of human ships moving through the dark, always watching, always ready. The galaxy had never known defeat like this. But the war was not over. Small fleets of desperate empires still tried to resist. Some launched raids into human territory. Others tried to defend their borders. Yet every attempt ended the same way. Humanity was there, waiting, ready to strike. What the empires had not understood was that every battle only made the humans stronger. Every ship they lost became a lesson. Every weapon used against them was rebuilt, improved, and returned. Humanity was no longer just fighting for survival. They were shaping the future of the galaxy. On Earth, the people stood united. The scars of battle were heavy, but so was their resolve. They did not see themselves as conquerors. They saw themselves as protectors of their home, forced into war by the arrogance of others. The leaders of Earth spoke not of revenge but of survival. Yet they also knew one truth: mercy would not come from the galaxy. Mercy would only come from humanity. At last, the moment arrived when the galaxy could no longer deny the truth. The remaining leaders of the great empires sent envoys to Earth. For the first time, they came not with threats, but with silence in their hearts. Their fleets were gone. Their power was broken. They had only one choice left. In the chambers of Earth, alien rulers stood before human leaders. Their voices trembled as they offered words they had never spoken before. They asked for peace. They asked for mercy. Some even knelt, their pride finally shattered. The humans listened. They remembered the countless lives lost, the attacks on their home, the endless war they had never wanted. But they also remembered something deeper. They remembered that once, they had asked for peace. And it had been denied. So, humanity gave the galaxy a choice. The words were clear, sharp, and final. Stand with us, or stand aside. Challenge us again, and there will be no tomorrow. The galaxy understood. They had no more fleets to send, no more armies to raise. The humans had proven that no chain could bind them, no empire could crush them, and no fear could silence them. Humanity had risen, and the galaxy could do nothing but accept it. 4 generations to come, stories would be told of this war. Stories of human ships turning the void into a battlefield of fire. Stories of captains who sacrificed everything so their people could live. Stories of a small blue planet that the galaxy had once ignored, until it was too late. In the end, the galaxy's greatest regret was not losing the war. It was starting it. They had believed humanity weak. They had believed humanity could be crushed like insects. But the truth was different. The truth was that humanity had always been something else, something the galaxy had never faced before. A force that thrived under pressure. A species that turned defeat into strength. A people who refused to bow. As the stars burned above Earth, one final truth echoed through the void. The galaxy should never have challenged humanity. And that mistake would never be made again.